Hi there, it's the Snelloween holiday. We had our annual Halloween party this year, and we had a special theme this year, doing it as an escape room. This video, we're sad you couldn't make it, so we wanted to show you the kinds of things that we did and give you a little tour of the puzzle. When you got here, there was a little message saying that you needed a password to get into the party this year, and we're sure you'll figure it out if you don't leave anything behind you. Well, if you turned around, in our little graveyard leading up to the house, there was one special tombstone that was well highlighted. And on the tombstone, the letters highlighted were T-R-E-A-T. So when you came up to the door and someone was demanding a password, the password to get in is treat. Then you're in the house. These were our costumes. Amy and I were dressed as, can you guess it? Can you guess it? That's right.
Eclipse of the Heart.
We were total eclipse of the heart. When you come in, there's another sign saying, welcome to Snelloween. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave unless you unlock the mystery, which begins here. You're treated to a little scroll. You get a pencil, and on the scroll, there's a whole story of what happened at Snelloween. Some poor soul died a long time ago at Snelloween. There's a little story that goes along with it, and you're asked to solve all kinds of questions about it. What kind of costumes were there that were scaring him, what he died from, what scared him away, that kind of thing. And you get a pencil, and away we go. So the first questions on there were, what were costumes that he was afraid of before he died? Look in there in the fire. If you look carefully, you see the letters U, C, and F, which don't really seem to go together, except out here in the other room, there's another fireplace. And in this fireplace, with odd spacing, the letters L, I, E, and R. And if you took the letters U, C, and F from that spacing, put it in here. Lucifer, there's your first costume. Oh, look, here there's a deck of cards. And if you look through the deck of cards, there's one missing. The Queen of Hearts was missing from this deck of cards. There's costume number 2. At some point during the party, you're probably going to visit the restroom. And when you do, there's going to be a little sign in here that says, don't be afraid of the dark. How odd. And it comes with this little pen light. Well, it's actually a UV light. And if you're in here and turn out the lights, which you're not going to be able to do because, oh no, there's a flash on the phone for the video. But if it were dark in here, you could really see the letters MED backwards on the door, and the letters USA here on the mirror. And with the lights truly out and not doing a video, if you stand about here and shine the light, they line up. MED USA Medusa is another of the costumes. That would have been much cooler in the dark, trust me. This here is maybe the most obvious puzzle that's set out, but one of the harder ones to solve. There's a Scrabble board with all these tiles glued into place with lots of great Halloween words. Here's your rack. And the instruction, 941 points in one play. Tell me how that makes you feel. Survey the board. There's not a lot of ways to get over 900 points in a single play, but down the column here, there are 3 triple word scores open. And if you're very clever, you'll get the letters in the right order to spell out psychotherapist. Trust me, it adds up to 941. Great, you've solved all of the costumes in the party. There's a few other questions. In the instructions, it said he sat down with a book, but something startled him out of the way. What book? This book here was unfortunately a bit of a red herring, although Hugo Cabret here is at least running in the right direction, to where this sign says, I cannot live without books. This one is pulled out, has a bookmark in it. The gargoyle, who's looming right above. The gargoyle scared him away from his book. What did he die of? That's a good question. Well, if you were in here and needed a snack, this table, of course, is all laid out with party food. And as snacks get taken, one of the trays was a little special. There's a periodic table underneath it, and one cell on it is highlighted. One of our guests, even without looking it up, knew that that cell was arsenic. There's another question, how long was he in the house before he died? The story says he came in the front, he did some things, he eventually went out and died on the back deck. There's also a passage about eerie things happening as if time stood still everywhere he went. The clock in here was frozen on 8:05. It's 7:55 now, but trust me, it was frozen on 8:05. And if you'd gone out to the back deck, there's another clock that was frozen on 9:35. The answer was 90 minutes. Another very tricky one was what song was playing when he died, with a 4-letter answer. Well, many people found our party playlist, which had a lot of songs on it that were related to Halloween, none of which was 4 letters. But notice that they are lettered, not numbered, and you're looking for 4 letters. Well, there were a few songs that were conspicuously on display around the party. You already saw one, our costumes, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Here's another you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. That's Hotel California. And here on our music stand, After Midnight was well highlighted. The 4th one was really tough for people to find, even though it was in their hands all night. Here's your pencil that you've been using to solve. All the pencils are stamped. This is Halloween. If you took those 4 songs, came back to the playlist, that's HELP for help. That's the song playing when he died. The final question was, who killed him? Well, this was an interesting conundrum. Of course, there's always drinks out at Snelloween, and we had cups and drink signs for the drinks. They were all themed. Pink Champagne on Ice was another Hotel California reference. Doctor's Remedy, Escape Artist for the escape room. There were also cups. Under all the cups were letters, D, O, and R. Well, that's not enough quite on its own, but if you studied the drink cards, there was a pattern along the bottom. Orange, black, black, gray, orange, etc. If you followed that pattern with the color of the cups, it gave you the answer, Dr. Rod Drood. Okay, congratulations. You filled out your answer sheet, and you now have all of your answers on your answer sheet. What happens next? Can I go? Not quite. You get one final scroll. Once you turn in those answers, you get another scroll that says, this constellation appeared in the sky the night of the murder. And there's a very cleverly laid out Grim Reaper constellation with all these stars. I have to try to hold it flat while I'm videoing. Well, people eventually figured out that this was a perfect overlay onto your answer sheet, so that the stars would cover certain letters in the answer grid, and when you followed the line around the stars, you could eventually come to the front door with your final passphrase to escape. Death is at the door.
Hey.
And you get your key, and away you go. Thanks a lot for virtually touring Snelloween. Hope you can make it next year.